We just heard from the superintendent in Gloucester about canceling school tomorrow. We know that Marblehead also not reaching any resolution in their contract dispute. Meanwhile, the unions from all three communities teamed up today to speak with one voice. Union members from three communities joining together for a common cause.
Marblehead, Beverly, and Gloucester are in this together, and we will not give up.
Educators are on strike, walking off the job, forcing schools to close. The issues are similar: better wages, benefits, especially for paraprofessionals.
Any person who helps a child are equal in the eyes of the student. Paraprofessionals are physically seen in the classroom as much as teachers.
Supporters say teachers have long made sacrifices for the sake of students, but now salary and wages are driving professionals elsewhere.
But the last few years, it has become increasingly difficult as we're asked to do much more with far less.
Gloucester's mayor and school committee say the union's wage proposal is not affordable.
To meet their proposal would mean either a tax override, resulting in a permanent increase to taxes, or cuts to services for our taxpayers and residents.
Marblehead School Committee released a statement saying the union's all-or-nothing strategy and they're conspiring with other MTA unions in neighboring communities on this illegal strike is only hurting the students. We want our school doors open, but so far the MEA is refusing to consider realistic options that are in the best interests of students. Now, teacher strikes are illegal, and on Friday, a judge ordered that teachers in Beverly and Gloucester should return to school tomorrow, Tuesday. And if that did not happen, he would be holding a contempt of court hearing, and that could bring some steep fines. Live in Gloucester, Sarah Conji, WCVB News Center 5.
Sarah, thank you. New on 5, Worcester police say a second person has died after a shooting that was described as a domestic incident. Police were called just after 2 a.m. Thursday morning to a home on Gingerbread Trail. A woman who had been shot was pronounced dead at the scene. A man was rushed to the hospital to be treated for a gunshot wound. We now know he did not survive. Police have not released any other information. Let's go to Hyde Park now, where Boston police have identified the man shot Friday afternoon in Hyde Park. Officers got to the scene on Garfield Ave to find 28-year-old Jose Alberto Feliz suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. 28-year-old Isaiah Trayvon Smith of Hyde Park is now facing several charges, including murder. He is set to be arraigned tomorrow.
Tonight, Congressman Seth Moulton is defending his comments about trans athletes in the wake of a growing backlash. Let's get to our political reporter, Sharman Saketi. She did push the congressman today to answer to his critics. She's live in Marblehead right now. Shar?
And we can tell you Congressman Moulton is definitely standing by what he had to say. And he said Democrats need to start listening if they want to win again. Congressman Seth Moulton doubling down on controversial comments he made after Democrats lost the election. Last week, telling the New York Times Democrats spend too much time trying not to offend anyone, adding, "I have 2 little girls. I don't want them getting run over on a playing field by a male or formerly male athlete. But as a Democrat, I'm supposed to be afraid to say that."
I meant exactly what I said. I meant what I said as a dad. And I mean that we ought to be able to have a discussion in the Democratic Party about contentious issues.
The state Democratic Party chair says Congressman Moulton is not the only Massachusetts Democrat seeking to have difficult conversations in the wake of the election. But my hope is that we do it in a thoughtful manner that doesn't target or demonize anyone. His comments don't reflect the values of our party. Congresswoman Presley says the country needs to heal.
And for me, that's about the work of fostering empathy and understanding. It certainly is not about scapegoating a community that is already very vulnerable.
Protesters gathered outside Moulton's Veterans Town Hall event in Marblehead, a Salem city councilor calling for him to step down.
I'd honestly like to see a resignation from the congressman.
Good luck. I mean, run against me if you want, you know?
Moulton says the backlash proves his point.
Come January, there is going to be an all-out assault on trans people and other minorities across America. And if we don't figure out how to speak to those issues and speak to these voters and actually start winning elections, then they're going to suffer the most.
Now, Congressman Moulton did tell us he spoke with Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, and he believes he is interested in having those discussions with him. We're live in Marblehead. Sharman Sacchetti, WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, Sharman, thank you. Right now, some shelves in Stop and Shop across the area are empty. The grocery chain has signs posted apologizing to customers about system outages and deliveries. Stop and Shop's parent company says it detected a cybersecurity issue and had to take some systems offline in order to protect them. The company is not saying if this was a ransomware attack, but it is saying they have notified law enforcement.
You know, due to the fact that they have so many stores, all it takes is for one compromise to bring down a part of the network, a part of the system that essentially makes it inaccessible.
You notice it right away?
Oh, big time. Their stock is down because it's a store that's always well stocked, and today it was not.
A spokesperson for Stop and Shop telling us that they are committed to serving customers, and they say they're working to ensure the stores are stocked in the coming days.
Next on WCVB News Center 5.
Nobody knows what a trailblazer he was.
A trailblazer indeed, paying tribute tonight to an unsung hero of weather forecasting.
The wartime meteorologist who paved the way for so many others.
And later this week, we have another chance of rain. It all depends on how this storm tracks. I'll show you when it moves through.
You're watching WCVB News Center 5 at 6.
One of the many Veterans Day ceremonies around Massachusetts today took place at the State House. Take a look. The Great Hall of Flags was the scene for hundreds of veterans and their families to gather and remember their service and sacrifices for America. Governor Healy said that Veterans Day has a special meaning for Massachusetts.
We're home to so many firsts: the National Guard, the United States Navy. We have a proud heritage of patriotism and of fighting for American democracy.
The latest figures show that about 277,000 Massachusetts residents, 5% of the population, have served in the military.
And we thank them and all of the veterans. And this Veterans Day, we're honoring one of New England's own, a trailblazer whose education at MIT led him to the Army Airfield and in Tuskegee, Alabama, a meteorologist whose barrier-breaking work allowed pilots to land and dreams to take off. New at 6, David Williams helps us chart the course of Captain Wallace Reed.
During World War II, American forces took to the skies over Europe. Before that, they had to train at home. But before that, they had to check the weather. One New England native answered the call and broke barriers along the way.
Nobody knows what a trailblazer he was.
When meteorologist William Ryan learned the story of Captain Wallace Petio Reed, he wanted everyone else to know it too. The first, that's right, the first black meteorologist for the armed services. Reed was born in Portsmouth, New Hampshire in 1919. In 1941, he graduated from the University of New Hampshire with a degree in mathematics. Around that time, the United States military, still segregated, was shoring up its operation and needed thousands more forecasters to support the efforts on the ground and in the air. According to MIT, the Army Air Corps helped establish meteorology courses for aviation cadets at institutions around the country, including MIT. There's where Wallace attended, and in 1942 graduated with his certificate in meteorology. He then was assigned to the Air Corps Advanced Flying School in Tuskegee, Alabama.
And just seeing him as a captain in the Army Air Corps was a motivation and a source of pride. It's hard to know what the impact was, but if it was for one person, then that's enough.
While at Tuskegee, Captain Reed and his counterparts across the world prepared forecasts and briefed pilots on weather for local and extended flights. He created maps and charts and trained other weather observers and aviation cadets. All this with a fraction of the technology we have today.
Forecasting back then was a whole nother thing. Number one, there were no satellites. So all your weather observations came from observers.
Reed served his country and left the military with decorations in 1946. From there, worked as a meteorologist in the Philippines for Pan American Airways and later the Weather Bureau, now known as the National Weather Service. So it is believed that he was also the first black meteorologist for the Weather Bureau. He died in 1999, but Reed's legacy lives on.
You can't underestimate the importance of a role model.
In 2020, Ryan helped establish a fellowship at the University of Maryland in Captain Reed's name to support the dreams of future trailblazing forecasters. David Williams, WCVB, Storm Team 5.
Love that story.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
WCVB is proud to support our veterans each and every day. And join us all day on Wednesday for our annual Helping Veterans Heal Telethon. All donations go directly to Home Base, which is dedicated to healing the invisible wounds of veterans and of all eras at no cost to them.
That is Wednesday. And the way things are going, Wonk, we can do it outside because it won't rain.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, really, if you look at the next week ahead of us, the best chance for rain is going to show up on Friday or Saturday. Now, this is not like an 80 or 90% chance of showers. This is a 20% chance. Why is it so low? Well, because we actually have a system coming through, and then it gets big offshore. But the question mark is, how far back in will it go? If it stays out over the ocean, it rains out over the fish. If it comes back in a little bit, we might get some decent rains out of the whole thing. This is going to be happening on Friday or Saturday. And again, it's something we're going to be watching all this week because it is really our best chance for seeing any rain as we look at this week. Now, it has been incredibly warm. Last week, we set record highs, got really close to record highs. It was a little cool on Saturday, but the last couple of days, still above average. Today, 14 degrees above average. Now, get ready for a cooler pattern as we head into the week. You look over the city right now, 62 degrees, a gentle breeze out of the west at 6 miles an hour. And the sunset tonight, oh, so early. It was at 4:25 tonight. All right, what's going to happen this week? We have a big cool down going on all the way through Thursday. Slight chance of some rain, as I pointed out, on Friday or Saturday, but really overall, it is still a dry pattern that we're dealing with. And you'll see from the satellite picture a few clouds that are out there. If you look way out to the west, out towards Syracuse, we're picking up a few showers with this next front. But this front's just going to kind of slip through here. without much associated with it. So overnight tonight, a few clouds, and then it just kind of fades away, and the colder air moves in over the next couple of days. So the cold air will be in place tomorrow morning. You're going to notice a big difference tomorrow morning compared to this morning when it was so warm out there. Overnight lows last night were only around 60 degrees. So the cold air will be with us for a few days. High pressure will drift its way off to the east and allow a new system to come in from the west. And right now it looks impressive. This is Thursday morning. We've got rain, we've got showers, we've got all this coming at us. This is the one that's going to go offshore and kind of build into a big storm. But right now it looks like a lot of this is going to slide underneath of us. And unfortunately, we won't get much out of it. We have to wait for the backlash of it if it can form close enough to the coast. So tonight, mostly clear, colder than it's been lately, 42 to 46 for your overnight low. And then tomorrow, a breezy day once again. It's going to be sunny. There's going to be gusty winds out of the northwest at 15 to 25 miles an hour, and a much cooler day. Highs 48 to 54 degrees. That's going to be kind of cool compared to what we've been through lately, but that's actually closer to normal. So here's what those high temperatures look like. Wakefield around 50 for a high, but once you get out toward Bedford, out toward Maynard, Shirley, highs tomorrow only into the upper 40s. And as you look down toward the Cape, we'll see temperatures into the 50s tomorrow, but it's the low 50s that we're talking about. All right, here's what it breaks down then over the next 7 days. Lots of sunshine, but cool sunshine, especially Thursday morning, dropping down to the upper 20s. And then we start a rebound. We start warming back up into the 50s, the mid 50s at that. And there's that chance of showers, as small as it is. It's the best one we have going on this week for Friday and Saturday. After that, we'll keep it a little bit warm as we head to the last half of the weekend. But overall, still a very dry pattern. We need the rain. Let's hope Thursday and Friday can come together a little bit better. Maria and Ed?
The poor weather guy saying it's the best one we have.
I know.
Oh, my goodness, Mark. Oh, my.
All right, well, I think we can call this Victory Monday, yes, for the Patriots after that win in Chicago yesterday.
Yeah, they can take a victory lap. And what about the Bears? As one coach said, they are who we thought they were, which was awful. Duke's on deck.
Now, Here's Duke Castiglione with SportsCenter 5, powered by Xfinity Mobile.
Hi, everybody. Yesterday in Chicago, the Patriots defense dominated the Bears offense. They sacked Caleb Williams 9 times and held the Bears to just 142 yards of total offense. There is no question that Drake May, who was taken the 3rd overall pick in last year's draft, outplayed Williams, who was taken number 1 overall. We also learned yesterday that last week May did not like how practice was going and addressed the team.
I thought he did a good job, not only, going out there executing in practice, but also, having those player-only meetings, and that's what we need from him. We need that. And, anytime you have a quarterback that is as level-headed and, is a smart guy and a competitor, all those things, and a leader, there's no perfect time to do anything. So we just said, hey, let's just do it right now. And he's done an excellent job there, and I look forward to seeing that progress going forward.
Bruins in St. Louis tomorrow night taking on the Blues. Today over at Warrior, they had a very intense practice, and our Angel Salcido was there for every second of it.
This is not how the puck usually drops at Bruins practice. But with the team hovering right around 500, head coach Jim Montgomery is kicking up the intensity.
We need more reps because our execution isn't where it needs to be.
This morning, Monty acknowledged some flaws with how the Bees have started their season, and the first one is their conditioning.
Say you're not at your best condition power-wise and strength-wise, you can still get there on the ice. There's a difference in those conditionings.
He admitted it was an issue during training camp, but said it's solving itself through time on the ice.
Conditioning-wise, I think we're there.
Then there's their offense, which failed to put a shot on net during the entire final period of last game. Their all-star David Pastrnak still recovering from an injury he suffered during the summer and looking to find his rhythm.
The last couple of games, I feel good. My legs moving pretty well, and obviously I know to get back the scoring touch and shoot more a little bit.
Boston hasn't been good enough with the numbers advantage either. They've only scored 8 power play goals in 16 games.
You can